What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. People do desperate things or dumb things a lot of times when they're desperate. And today I want to talk about a story about three people, two men and one woman, all arrested after trying to rob a bank in Florida, Ocala, Florida to be exact. Shout out Ocala. And taking an employee by force. Now, one of these people, one of the men arrested, was shot by police after the truck flipped over and he pulled the gun out. And luckily, this guy survived. And after what he's going to probably go through, he probably wish he hadn't. But I want you guys to take a look at this story. And this whole thing right here sounds like a plan to fail, the whole way it was set up, especially talking from somebody that got experience in robbing a bank or two and going to jail for it. Take a look at this craziness.
Breaking news in Marion County, where a bank robbery prompted a chase, crash, and then officers opening fire.
This all started with a robbery at the TD Bank on Southeast 17th Street in Ocala. That is just north of Mericamp Road, where there is now a heavy police presence. West 2 Tonight, Gabriel is live right near the scene after police spoke just a few moments ago. Tonight.
Yeah, in the last 30 minutes, they shared some updates, and we're learning that two men and one woman were involved in this bank robbery. And police say one of them took out a gun when the chase ended. Here behind me, you can see that pickup truck rolled over on its side, and the crime scene tape is up with officers from Ocala PD and Marion County Sheriff's Office are still here investigating. And we're told when the chase ended here, one of the suspects raised his gun and officers fired their weapons. And that's when they were shot in the wrist, but that person is expected to be okay. No officers were hurt in this shooting. Police say the group stole money from a TD bank that's just about 2 to 3 miles from here and then took off. One of them is accused of forcing a worker from the bank to walk outside until they were able to escape in the truck. And police say the high-speed chase, they tried doing a traffic stop, and when the suspects kept going, they pursued them, and that this put so many lives at risk.
We're very cognizant of you don't want any crossfire. You know, the two officers who were involved were next to each other. They weren't across from each other. And as soon as the suspect dropped himself to the ground and dropped the gun, it was over.
Now, this makes the second robbery at the same TD Bank in less than a week. Last Saturday, a former Marion County Sheriff deputy was arrested after she allegedly took off with more than $5,000. And as for this new case, the FDLE is investigating, but we're told the charges for the suspect will include bank robbery, kidnapping, fleeing or eluding an officer, and aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. Covering Marion County Live, Sanay Gabriel, West 2 News.
A bank robbery in Ocala. 3 people face charges after the bank was robbed for the second time this week. 37-year-old Randall Williford and 34-year-old Amanda Bishop and 36-year-old Andre Baker were arrested yesterday for robbery with a firearm after attempting to rob the TD Bank in Ocala. So this is the same bank that former Marion County Sheriff's Deputy Christina Thagard robbed on Saturday. So those are the same bank. TV 20's Deja Clayton shows us the chaotic chase that led to their arrest.
Hey guys, I'm not condoning this type of behavior in any way, especially after I went to jail for the same type of stuff. But I do want to say, and the reason why I'm saying I'm not condoning this is I think these people are stupid. First of all, you don't do crimes with other people. That's one of the things I always knew. And it always comes back to haunt you when you do a crime, something, especially with multiple witnesses and something where all 3 people are doing stupid stuff. It never works out. Now, these people are identified as the following. Randall Lee Willingford, 37 years old. He was arrested for robbery with a firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. So he already been in prison before. aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer and tampering with evidence. He's the one that must have shot. Now, I said he was shot in the wrist. It says Amanda Jean Bishop. This is the woman. She's 34 years old. She was arrested for robbery with a firearm and fleeing and eluding police with disregard for the safety and public of people or property. She was the driver. You can tell the way they wrote that. Andre Javon Baker, 36, was arrested with robbery with a firearm. He was the third one. So basically, all three of them were armed. They ran into the bank on some set it off type shit, right? Like in the movies. Got in the car. One of the two dudes took the bank employee, made them walk out to the vehicle, right? I guess to scare the people to not to set the alarm off, and then drove away, giving the person that they brought out there, the witness, the hostage, complete description of what vehicle they left in with the girl driving, Miss Amanda Bishop. How stupid is that? I don't know what they was thinking, but things happen for a reason. Now watch this. After the crash, where you see the car flipped over, 2 suspects remained in the car, which is basically the woman, Amanda Bishop, the driver, and Andre Baker, the third gunman. So he must have been in the back seat or in the front seat. Either way, when that Jeep flipped, both of them stayed in the car. When the police came up, I guess they surrendered. The other dude jumps out the car, goes to run, and lets his gun off. And then they shoot, and he only gets shot in the wrist. So he's lucky to be alive. But that's the stupidest thing ever. Now let's look at this for what it is. Don't know why they needed the money, but they needed it. There was 3 of them. They could have put their heads together as 3 responsible adults to come up with some type of money. Never said what they escaped with, but they needed a large sum of money. You had 3 adult minds working together to do some craziness, to get cash by force, but not get cash another way. Now, a lot of y'all might say, well, Steve, that sounds stupid because you did that before too. Yeah, I did. But my reasoning for doing it was I was losing my house. You know, I didn't want to, be out in the street, have my kids see me homeless, and risk not seeing my children because I had no place to bring them when it was time for their visitation. And I was losing my house to no fault of my own. And that's another story in itself. I was always a responsible adult. But when, you have family members that you trust or you're entrusted in the, helping you, and things happen and it's left with the weight of the world on you, a lot of times you do things that are drastic, especially when you feel as though, none of this stuff is your fault, even though you have to have some accountability towards it. Either way, man, these people going to jail for a long time, more than sure they got children, and it leaves a ripple effect out here in whatever community you come from, where they leave people behind because of selfishness to achieve a common goal of getting something that wasn't theirs in the first place. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. These people are lucky. You know what I mean? You got a girl, she driving. I don't know who came up with that plan. All 3 people, we're going to get out the car like gangbusters, run up in there, get what we get, and then get a clean getaway and bring the person out so she can see what car, or he can see what car we get in. And like that was going to work. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.